All right. Awesome. We have two special guests today. We have Janna and my mom. How exciting is that? All right. All right. All right. So you gotta yeah. You request. Go. Okay, I don't know. Something happened. I hear my feedback. So something happened there. Okay. All right.
Sounds good.
Awesome. We are here. All right. Thank you guys for being so patient. We are Life with Gina, Becoming a Better You, episode 17. Be thankful or be bitter. Your choice. All right. You choose. You choose. Be thankful or be bitter. So this is just a little episode that we put together for Thanksgiving. Obviously, you guys know that Thanksgiving is this Thursday. So instead of doing it on Wednesday, we decided to do it on Tuesday so that we can share a little bit with you guys what we're doing, what we're really all about being thankful. So we're really excited because we see everybody else joining. So thank you for that little prelude that we had a little while ago. I wanted to make sure that my sister was on Facebook and on Instagram together, and we figured it out. So I want to thank God for that. So let me share a little bit, and then I'm going to probably give it over to my mom. Aren't you guys excited that my mom is here with me? Yeah.
Yay!
Okay. So I know I kind of made it public that my mom was a little bit sick and she actually needed 2 blood transfusions, and it was a little bit scary. I even made a video because I couldn't go see her, and it was scary, the times that we're living in today. But I thank God that she is here with me. If you see her stand up, that's okay. But I'm glad you're here.
Amén.
Amen.
Para mí es una bendición poder compartir en este día.
For me, it's a blessing to be able to share today, giving thanks to God.
De agradecimiento en mi corazón hacia mi Señor.
Yes. Giving thanks to God, to my Lord for being here today.
Hacia mi familia que ha estado conmigo, compartiéndome y respaldándome en medio del proceso que estoy pasando.
Yes, in my family that has been taking care of me and really being there for me through the process that I'm in.
Yes, Gina, que es la que saca su tiempo. Yo sé que Janna, si Janna estuviera aquí, también lo hiciera, pero doy gracias a Dios por Gina, que ella siempre está ahí presta para estar conmigo, para cuidarme, para respaldarme.
Amen.
Y ellos no, Janna no puede estar aquí, pero siempre está en el teléfono preguntándome cómo yo estoy. Los muchachos llaman también, Joguito, Jeife. Y estoy bien agradecida de mi Señor y de la iglesia, de Casa de Oración y Restauración que me ha respaldado en sus oraciones.
Yes. So what she's saying is she's so thankful for me that I always take time out of my busy schedule to try to work very diligently to take care of her. And it's my honor to do that. She thanks God, and she knows that if my sister was here, which she's on live, she would be here as well. And my other 2 brothers, Joey and Jay would do the same. So I am so blessed right now that I have my mom, and I see everyone joining, and so grateful that you guys are taking out an hour out of your Tuesday night to be with us live. But we are going to we're going to talk about a little spin on being thankful, because thankfulness could really change your perspective on a lot of things in your life. And one of the things that we shared was, you're either thankful or you bitter, you choose. I think one of the things that we've been talking about in the last 7 episodes, it's amazing to me. The last 7 episodes, we've been talking about generational curses. And one of the episodes I spoke about was, although we have these generational curses, what happens is that you still choose the life that you have to live. You are where you are today because of the decisions that you have done, period. You can't blame God. You can't blame other people. It's easy to blame other people, especially if they've abused you, if they've done something negative to you. It's very easy to kind of, attack them and say, I'm like this because of them. But at the end of the day, you are where you are because of the decisions that you've made. So today, I am going to give it over to Janna, and I'm going to ask her to share a little bit about where we are today in this world, okay? And basically, how did Thanksgiving come about? Let's talk a little bit about how did Thanksgiving come about and why we should be so grateful. And then we're going to get into the nitty gritty about you either choose thankfulness or you choose bitterness. And I have some really juicy questions to ask my mom and some other juicy questions to ask Janna that she doesn't know about. And the reason why she doesn't know about is because not that she's not honest with other questions, but sometimes we just got to shoot it off the cuff and kind of like, you know, let's get to the nitty gritty. Why is it so important to be thankful? So before I hand it off to Janna, I want to introduce my sister. This is my sister, my older sister. Blessed to have her here. Very thankful for her. She's actually studying to get her PhD in marriage counseling and marriage therapy. And she has her master's in the same thing, counseling. She's been teaching for over 20 plus years. She is an educator, nothing else but an educator. Okay, so when she talks, she probably preaches towards the end, but what she's doing is educating. Okay, that's in her blood, is in her vein. So without no further ado, talk to us why, even in these trying times that we're in today, even in the craziness that we're going through today, why is it so important to be thankful?
Well, the Bible calls us to be thankful in all things.
Yes.
That's number one. And I think that when we have an attitude of gratefulness, we push away all the negative of the world. You know, all the negative things that are happening, especially nowadays with, you know, COVID and just, you know, we're in a new norm and, you know, things will not return to be the same, unfortunately. But I think that, you know, an attitude of gratefulness and just being thankful, it changes everything. There's a switch that happens in your mind when you
so,
are.
Janna, let's do one thing. Could you lower either Facebook all the way or Instagram all the way? One of the two, because they're hearing an echo.
Okay. Let me see if I can lower.
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
All right. I don't know why my phone keeps on turning off. I don't know what's going on here.
Okay, do you still hear me, Chili?
I do hear you clearly.
Okay.
I do.
Echo. Sounds better.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah. Turn it up. This one has been off.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, your attitude has a lot to do with the results in your life.
Yes.
You know, I wanted to share a little bit about the history because sometimes we're ignorant about why we do things. We just kind of go with the flow. Everybody's doing this, so I'm going to do it. And I think that we have to educate ourselves and be aware of where we're at. And I was, you know, as I was listening to someone talk about this, I said, you know, I have to share this because I was totally impressed and I was really you know, just impressed with the information and you know, like you said, education is very important to me. And I feel that, you know, the Bible says my people perish because of lack of knowledge.
Yes.
We just sometimes we just don't know and we're ignorant. And because of that, we perish. You know, the Bible says that. So Thanksgiving started, you know, 400 years ago. It didn't become an official holiday, you know, later on. But 400 years ago, you know, the Pilgrims came to the United States and they had a compact. It was called the Mayflower Compact. That initiated, you know, our rights. It initiated who we were as a people. It initiated everything that we see now in the Constitution. It initiated that for us. And when they landed and they you know, they became friends with the people that were there, and they had an attitude of gratitude, because they realized, wow, you know, we came from that far, and the reason they were fleeing from Europe and from that, you know, the other side of the world, it was because of religion, of religious rights. It was because they didn't have the right to worship. You know, they didn't have that opportunity. They were told, this is what you're going to do and this is who you're going to worship, and they had to flee from that. You know, 400 years later, you know, we see ourselves in a situation in our country where that wants to be taken away from us.
Again,
You know, and yes, that wants to be taken away from us. Now we're in this free country, and we've had so many people fight for our rights, fight, you know, even bleed for the rights that we have nowadays as a people, and now it wants to be taken away from us again. That is in the Supreme Court right now, where they want to take away the right of us being able to congregate in a temple, in a place, to be able to worship our God.
wow.
So it's being taken away. But 400 years ago, the first people that came to this place, to the United States, to Pennsylvania, they came because they wanted to worship. They wanted to be free, you know, to be able to worship their God. And they made this Mayflower Compact, and they were able to establish, okay, we're here now. This is what we're going to follow. We're going to honor God. That was the number one thing on that compact, was to honor God, to worship God. You know, 400 years, let me explain a little bit. If we look back, numbers have a huge significance in the Bible. Numbers have a huge significance for God. And a generation is 4 years. A generation is 4 years. So now we have 10 generations later. Here we are, 400 years. And the right that we had as a people wants to be taken away from us. When we look at Moses, you know, after the people have been enslaved for 400 years, they fled from Egypt, and they were in the wilderness trying to find freedom again, you know, and, you know, so we see a correlation of what God is doing with us. That's what we need to pray. We need to fast. We need to be on the, you know, on God's eyes, and God's, you know, what is in the pulse of God, so that we can understand what's actually happening. Because there's, like I said, a significance in numbers. And if we look back in the Bible, we see 40 years, generations. You know, God said, you know, or the word says in Deuteronomy that curses will go from 3 to 4 generations. Guess what? Blessings go 10 generations.
Wow.
So here we are in the 10th generation, and God wants to bless his people. The enemy knows that, and he wants to take that away from us.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
So the significance that you're talking about with the 10 generations, and that God wants to bless us. And I love that you're sharing this, because it's really getting me to the point where it's really amazing for us to realize that here we are 10 generations later. We're going to celebrate, the country is going to celebrate Thanksgiving. I know we celebrated with a turkey and all of that, and we get excited about that. And by the end of the whole celebration, everybody's dead tired, especially the person that's hosting. But the significance of that was for us to be free. The people were coming here to be free. And that's why we are celebrating this today. But here we are 400 years later, still fighting for our religious rights, still fighting to be free in so many areas in our lives. And
religious freedom.
And I just want to share with people that, you know, right now what we're going through is serious. We're going through a serious situation where, you know, politics has really taken over. Not this many people has never voted in their lives. You know, presidency, everything that's going on. You know, the world is divided. You know, with red and blue, if you want to call it that, right? Red and blue, if you want to go there. But at the end of the day, this is what I want to get at today. You know, at the end of the day, the world is divided. But how is your home? Is your home also divided? You see, and that's why I made that title. And really, Louis, that I see him here, I love him, CEO of Crown Media. You know, he's amazing with these titles, and he really gave it to me and said, listen, you know, and I have so many other kind of similar titles, but this one hit it for me in my heart. Be thankful or be bitter, you choose. And the reason why we brought this up and really came home to me was because in the book Prevail, The Process of Overcoming, you guys know this already, there's a chapter dedicated at, you know, what made me angry, or what disturbed me before, I am thankful for today. So what got me angry before, what got me bitter before, what I asked God, why did this happen to me? Why did that happen to me? Today, I'm thankful, which has taken away a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain. And we're living in a world right now that I'm sorry I keep on kneeling down, but for some reason the other phone just want to let you know the other phone is turning off on me, and I don't know why. So if anybody knows why the phone might be turning off, maybe you can tell me. It keeps on like getting dark.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, I wrote a whole chapter on this, on being thankful and forgiveness, because at the end of the day, you know, if you don't realize everything you go through in life is to escalate you to another level. If you don't realize that everything you go through in life is to take you to another dimension, then you're going to be bitter all of your life.
Yes.
Right? So here Janna's talking about some roots. She's talking about 400 years ago. It's been 400 years. People came to this country for liberty. They came to this country for freedom. They came to this country for their religious rights because they wanted them to worship something else that wasn't God. We'll celebrate Thanksgiving with our families, hopefully with our families. Not everybody that's listening to me today, and I'm being realistic, is happy about the holidays. We have depression. The highest state of suicide sometimes is through the holidays. Okay, we're going through a situation that it has really been such a mental chaos, mental health chaos, that we really got to just stand strong and say, okay, you know, I'm going to be together with my family. Let me think about this. The world is divided, right? Can we agree with that one, Janna? Could I get some thumbs up?
Absolutely.
The world is divided.
Absolutely.
Could I get some thumbs up? The world is divided. There's no disputing that. We're not, oh, you know, maybe it is, maybe it's not. It is. That's okay. But guess what? The world has always been divided. It always has. It's just that now the media shows it in a different way, right? The media tries to control your mindset, what you do, who you are. If there is nothing else you have learned in these past 4 years, is one thing, is that the media lies, okay? Fake news. If the media tells you, and I knew this back then, actually, Janna, I don't know if you remember Frankie, I'm sure you do, Ortiz, when he passed away, unfortunately, he was killed. What happened in his story was something totally different than the news shared.
Right.
And the whole family was looking at each other and saying, wow,
That's
that
not
was
what
happened.
Right.
And I remember back then, I think I was 10, 11 years old when this happened. And now it's just more open that the world is divided. But the world has always been. How is your home? How is your home? So I'm going to go to mommy. I'm going to go back to you, Janna. But I'm going to go back to mommy. And I'm going to tell mommy, thank you. This is my mom, okay? She is pastor of House of Prayer and Restoration. Amazing woman of God. She was she was the reason why I wrote the book. She was the reason why those doors were open. She opened that door so that we could be here today, actually, even doing this live, okay? And but there were some things in the book that we wrote about that I know that while you were going through it, you were maybe bitter, maybe asking why me, maybe asking all of these things. That what got you to the point from those situations in your life that made you say today you're thankful for them?
Bueno, cuando yo miro la vida que yo vivía en el tiempo de antes,
when I look at the life that I used to
cuando
live,
yo estaba pasando por la situación que yo estaba pasando,
when I was going through the situation that I was going through,
y miro mi vida ahora,
and I look at my life today,
que tengo una vida llena de, vivo una vida de paz, de armonía.
I live a life of peace, of harmony.
Entiendo que estoy viviendo los mejores días de mi vida.
I understand that I'm living the best days of my life.
Y cuando yo miro para atrás,
And when I look back,
yo ahora le doy gracias al Señor.
Today I give thanks to God.
Porque yo digo que posiblemente hasta Dios permitiría que yo pasara por esto.
And I say, wow, maybe even God allowed me to go through it
Para yo vivir la vida que vivo ahora.
so that I could live the life that I live today.
Doy gracias a Dios que Dios me dio la bendición de perdonar.
I give thanks to the Lord that He gave me the blessing of forgiving.
De poder tener misericordia y compasión con las personas que me hicieron daño.
To be able to have mercy and for the people that hurt me.
No. Aunque al principio estaba herida, pero doy gracias a Dios porque yo escogí no estar herida, sino levantarme de esa herida y tomar esa herida como una plataforma para yo poder en este día testificar de las grandes maravillas del Señor, cómo Dios puede sanarte, cómo Dios puede restaurarte y cómo no importa lo que tú hayas pasado, Dios puede darte una vida mejor.
You know, when she looks back at her life and she sees what she's been through, she's seen the misery that she's been through. She's so happy that today she can forgive. She's so happy that she could look back and say, wow, God, you took me out of misery. You took me out of the hurt. You took me out of the pain. And today I can live the best days of my life. Now, if we look at life that way, and I know sometimes it's hard, can we be real? Sometimes it's hard to look at life that way when you're going through the issue. Okay? Sometimes it's hard to look at life that way when you're going through it. Can we be real with that?
Of course.
You know, like I told you before, my mother's going to be in and out. She's just, you know, she just wanted to be here, but she's blessed. She's anointed. She's coming back. Okay? But the ideal of it is, how could we still be thankful if maybe we need to look better at our lives, and maybe your family right now is divided. Maybe right now, you know, you want to be with your wife, with your husband, with your children, and they're gone. They can't make it. Maybe on purpose, maybe not on purpose. Maybe they can make it, maybe they can't make it.
Right.
Put it on the computer. On the computer. Yeah. No. Put the charger on the computer. Yes. So I'm sorry. And we could do all these things and still be grateful. So I want to ask you the same, and then I'll share my story, okay? I'll share my story. What is something that maybe you have gone through in your life, Janna, that today you could say, and you don't have to give details unless you want to, but that today you could say, I'm thankful. Today you could say, wow, this has been a blessing in my life.
Right. Well, I think that, and I'll share a little bit about, you know, I guess when I was a little younger and also with my daughter, because I think that sometimes we don't realize that, and like you said before, that sometimes when you go through something, is to push you forward into a higher place.
Yes.
You know, and I thank God for relationships that were broken. I thank God for relationships that, you know, I had to move on from. You know, I've had many friendships, and when I look around today, I have no friendships, and I'm okay with that. You know, I maybe have one person, well, I'm not gonna say maybe, I have one person that she's amazing. She's probably watching right now. And I thank God for her, because you learn how to value people like that. You learn how to value, and you learn how to choose and pick, you know, who are the people that's supposed to be in your life. You know, sometimes relationships break on purpose, you know, or I should not say, you know, most of the times they do break on purpose, you know, especially if you have been called. I feel that if you have been called for a mission, you have a destiny, you have a purpose higher than where you are right now, God is going to break relationships. God is going to break, you know, friendships in your life, because you don't need them. You know, people will only last in your life till, you know, till a certain amount of time. You know, some people will only be in your life a year. Some people will be 10 years. Some people will be 20 years. Some people will be a lifetime. But others, you know, maybe a day or two. And you know, and some, when you're young, you don't see that. You know, and when you're young, you're like, you're feeling for friends, and you know, you're like, I need friends, and I get it, because you do, you know, because sometimes you rely on people, and it makes you feel good. But at the same time, you know, it's about knowing who you are in God, knowing who you are as a person, knowing that you've been called for a purpose, you've been called for something greater than where you are and greater than you. And sometimes those people have to flee. Those boyfriends or those girlfriends, they have to leave. There's no way they can stay for you to grow to be the person that you have to be. You know, I thank God for being in churches where, you know, especially when I grew up in a church that was, you know, rajatabla, that was very strict and very, you know, and at the same time, you know, I was able to meet a lot of people and be in ministry and be, you know, under different, you know, pastors and things like that. And at the end of the day, God took me out of that. And when I needed them the most, God said, no, you gotta go.
Wow.
And that's
But
when we went to
sometimes,
Thessalonica,
I mean,
you know?
Can you
That's when the
admit,
Lord opened that door for us,
Yeah.
you know?
could you admit that it was hard? I mean, that it took you
Of
time
course.
to
Of
get
course.
there. But this
You
is
know,
why
when we went,
this.
when going back to your book, and when we left, you know, the other church, I won't mention the name, but when we left the other church in Brooklyn, and we had to find somewhere to worship because I didn't need God. The people left us and they kicked us out, you know, after the concilio, basically because of something that our dad did, not us. We were totally pushed away, abandoned, and pushed to the side. And I had to leave my presidency as the youth. You know, the board of I can't remember what I was doing at the time. I think I was vocal or something from the international youth. Yeah. So anyhow, we had to leave. I was brokenhearted, like my heart was out of my chest. And I was like, what are we gonna do now? I still love God. I didn't blame God, you know, because I thank God I have a relationship with God. But all the people that I thought were my friends at this point weren't. I didn't get any phone calls. I didn't get any reaching out. No one even mailed me a letter, you know, and I was a youth leader. You know, so I had to learn to let it go, and to see what God had in, you know, what God was putting in front of us. And I remember mommy saying, we're going to go to Thessalonica. And I was like, no, I don't want to go to that church. We're going to Thessalonica. For some reason, that's where the Lord, you know, that's what God placed in her heart. And we submitted to our mom. We submitted to that. And we were able to see how God, you know, used us even there, you know, for a time, you know. And I know that after I got married, I left. But, you know, God continued to use you, Gina, continued to use mommy, and continued to, you know, and even when I left, even though it was hard, you know, I literally left my life behind to marry my husband and went to Florida, which I you know, it was tough. That's another thing that I did with, like, oh my God, I was desperate. My mother's my best friend. My sister's my best friend, and I'm leaving everything and everybody, literally, you know, and I left my life behind. I left my job. I left everything. And I moved to Florida, and it was the toughest thing I ever did. The first year living in Florida was devastating. I would cry almost every day. Mommy would call me and I would be crying, and I remember hearing the song Wind Beneath My Wings. And that was the song that I dedicated to mommy in the wedding, and I cried like crazy. You know, mommy would send me books encouraging me and things like that. But you see, it was okay because I grew. I was able to go to a church, you know, to Polo White Ministries and to Without Walls at the time. And wow, I feel like I grew up in God through that ministry. Like I literally grew up.
I mean,
it was amazing.
Hello, like I said in the book, everybody has their own story, which is amazing. You know, everybody has their own story. And one of the things I realized when I was writing this book, and I know that everything for us was church, everything was, you know, and that's okay. But one thing I did realize, right, when I connected with some people, I took it a little further because I did connect with some people from those other churches. The situation was so tough that it wasn't that people didn't want to connect with us. It was that they didn't know how, right? It was that, and
they were probably afraid.
And they were afraid. It was a very sticky situation, right? Back then we didn't have cell phones. Back then we didn't have social media. Back then they couldn't DM us. They couldn't message us. They couldn't be like, I'm here for you. Back then they had to call us with the long cords that were attached to the wall, a rotary phone. And if they called that phone, they didn't know who was going to pick it up. So and I'm not saying it was wrong that they didn't call us. I'm just saying that when you start thinking in other perspectives and sometimes put yourself in other people's shoes, you start realizing and you start forgiving, and you start realizing, you know what? I know people didn't, you know, I didn't do anything wrong. It was something that happened. And you know, it was unfortunately, you know, what happened. Read the book. Okay. But at the end of the day, I started realizing, you know what? A lot of people, when things like that happen, that a marriage is broken and everything, you know, was the church, and it you know, it could be something else for you. It could be, instead of the church, it could be a social club. It could be, you know, your job. It could be, for some people, that's their life. That's what they do all day. And they lose that. Sometimes people are just afraid to call you, to connect with you, to be there with you. And when I started learning that, it was easier for me to let go. It was easier for me to say, you know what? I'm not bitter that that person didn't call me. I'm not bitter that that person didn't come out of their way to reach out. Maybe that person was afraid. Maybe that person didn't know how to. Maybe that person did keep us in prayers. Because I want to tell you, Janna and Mommy, what we went through, it was for us to be in a psychiatric department. It's for us to not be successful in our careers, in our spirituality, in our marriages, with our children. We're doing this right now. So although those people didn't come visit us, I know some of them prayed for us. Okay,
right,
and most of them
absolutely
probably did pray for us and connected with us eventually when things kind of died down. But I remember understanding that I came to a point in my life that all those things I needed to be thankful. I needed to say, wow, thank you, because, you know, I don't understand it now, but I know that the Bible says, right? I always talk about Philippians when it talks about be anxious for nothing, but in everything with thankfulness. It says with
thanksgiving
and prayer, right? With thankfulness in everything, with thankfulness and prayer. I mean, you have to be thankful for even the things that maybe at the moment are getting you anxious. You got to be thankful for maybe for the situations that maybe at the moment you don't understand, right? If you've been following us on live, and I appreciate, oh my God, just want to take a little minute. I appreciate everybody that's following us on Instagram and on Facebook. So many people. I mean, from different churches, from my career, from my job, from my businesses, from the account Prevail the book. So many people that are watching and are really benefiting from this. And that's why sometimes, you know, God puts you through like the ringer. Like, why me, God? But sometimes God puts you through the point where you cannot breathe, where literally the water's right here and you're about to drown. But there's something that God does, that when you don't see your feet on the sand, it's because God is carrying you. You know, and when God carries you now, you're able to take these struggles. You're able to take all of these situations, right, Ma? You're able to take them and teach people and say, listen, it's better to be thankful than to be bitter. It's better to wake up in the morning and say, thank you, Lord. I don't understand why my problem is going on. I don't understand why my family may be divided right now. I don't understand why maybe I don't have the Thanksgiving that I would like in 2 days. Maybe I don't understand why I can't have a baby, why I'm not married, why I got a divorce, why my children left me. There's so many things that could go wrong in life. That's part of life, right? God did not promise us no struggle. He did promise us the struggle, but he promised us the peace through the struggle. Because it's when you are
conquered.
Thankful.
That's right.
Mommy, it is when you are thankful that you see the light at the end of the tunnel. And you say, oh my God, if I never went through a divorce, if I never went through what I went through, I would not be here right now. If I never did that, if my friends didn't leave me, if I didn't go to another state like you, Janna, you know, we missed you terribly. You were crying, we were crying too. Mommy was crying. Mommy went through a depression. She was like, my daughter left, you know, and
it was
all
tough.
these things. I mean, but we knew you were happy. We knew you were happy with a wonderful man. We knew you were happy with a wonderful man, and you still are. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, thank you, Jesus. But we understood. I understood that, and that's why I wrote that in the book. And I was like, you know, the things that are painful for you today, tomorrow you will be thankful for.
If
you learn how to be anxious for nothing. In thanksgiving. And in prayer. Like it says in Philippians. Because why people don't see that is because they're not thankful, Mommy. Why people don't see like the silver lining at the end of the tunnel, right? My father died. I don't know why. This person died. I don't know why. That person left me. You know, I went through a divorce. You guys know this, right? I went through a divorce. It was horrible. I thought I was gonna kill myself. This is real. This is real life, right? This is not like reality show that's still fake. This is real life. Okay. I went through a divorce, and it was a death. It was a death. It was a broken relationship that there was no repairing, and I was pregnant. I was 1 month pregnant, 2 months pregnant when this happened. I stayed quiet for almost 2 years to my mom. I told you, Janna, within the year, because you rescued me. You were like, you need to come, you know, to Florida, and At the moment, I didn't see that. At the moment, I was surviving, right?
Yeah.
When we're in survival mode, we don't see reality.
Exactly.
You're in a box. When
Sometimes you don't feel it. You're numb.
Yeah. When you're in survival mode, it's kind of like, how could I just wake up today? But when you're out of that, because the storm is not forever. Come on now. The storm is not forever.
That's right.
You're going to go through the storm. And if you were Peter in the boat, at the end of the day, the storm stopped. Okay, Jesus was walking on the water, and they thought he was a ghost. And they were like, what is going on? What is this ghost walking nice and peaceful in the midst of a storm where we all going to drown? And Peter was like, I need some of that peace. Could I walk in the water just like you? And he got up, and you know what? He did it anyway. He
walk in the water.
Through the storm. And you know what? Although he started sinking, it was okay because Jesus was right there to pick him up. And sometimes we go through the storm and we don't know, and we're surviving. And oh God, but I started realizing, why? If I'm just thankful, if I just say, Lord, I don't understand, because most of us are not going to understand. All right? I don't understand, but if I'm just thankful, I'm not going to be bitter.
It's about
thankful.
Let me say something real quick, because I just feel this.
Go ahead.
It's about surrendering.
Yes.
Because sometimes we want to be so in control. We're so independent. We want to make sure that things are just right. And this has to happen and that has to happen. But when you surrender to God, when you learn how to say, okay, I need to stop, I need to step back, and I need to surrender my will to God. The only way you can be grateful is by surrendering and saying, God, you know what? Let me look at the little things. I still have my eyesight. I still could walk. I still get up every morning. I still have some breath in my life. I can still eat. I still got a little bit of food in the fridge. I still got a job. A lot of people lost their job. But you know what? Okay, now I'm on welfare, and welfare's helping me. So I still have life. And while we have life, we have to learn how to surrender it to God.
Yes.
So in surrender, you're going to see the hand of God.
Yes.
In surrender, you're going to see how God's going to move. He's going to, when you're in that storm, and when you're in the midst of it all, and you're thinking, I'm going to sink, that's when Jesus comes and he extends his hand.
Yes.
That's when Jesus comes and he's carrying you. That's when all of a sudden the wave takes you all the way to the top. It's about surrendering.
Yes.
Surrendering your will. It's not your will, Father God, your kingdom come, your will be done.
Yes.
On earth as it is in heaven. God, whatever's happening up there, let it happen here in my life.
Yes.
It's not about me. It's not about what I want. And I want to be in control of everything. I want to be in this relationship. I want to make this much money. I want this car. I want this house. It's not about that. It's about learning that in the little things, God is glorifying himself. In the little things, God is moving. And we have to thank God for it. How many of us could lose our eyesight right now, like you have said before?
Yeah.
We could all be blind right now. Thank God we have eyesight.
Yes.
We gotta thank God for that. We can walk. We got up this morning.
Yes.
We had a little bit of breakfast maybe. Or maybe we don't like what we ate, but thank God we have something to put in our mouth. That's right. We have something that God was able to provide. We need to realize that it's not about us being in control.
Yes.
We got to surrender our control to God.
Yes.
Let God's will be done, and let's surrender it to him so that we can see the manifestation and the glory of God in our lives. That's the only way you see the glory. We get angry and we get bitter because we want to be in control.
Yes.
So when you surrender it to God, and you realize, you know what? I can still have peace through this turmoil. I can still have peace through the somebody's telling me off, or somebody's cursing me out, or I lost my job and I don't have enough money. I can still have peace. The peace of God is still going to be there. The peace of God when we surrender. But when we don't surrender, we want to be in control. I'm going to live a better life. I'm going to
So
be
could
upset.
I take it a little further than that, Janna? Right? We
Go
need to
for it.
surrender. We need to, mami, ponte las pilas, que tienes que decir algo. Mommy's enjoying. Mommy's enjoying right now. I'm going to take it a little further. A lot of the reasons why we don't surrender is because we're selfish. It's all about us.
Yes.
That's why we get anxiety. It's all about us. I'm going to give you a testimony that probably my mother, this is my mother's testimony, and I'm going to share it. When I had my daughter, my younger daughter, she's 8 years old now. They overdosed me on Percocet. I didn't know it at the time, and I was going through anxiety, but like never before. Janna, you could attest to this. Yes. Mom, you could attest to this. Literally, I could not be alone in my room. Once I gave birth, I thought it was just craziness. And I remember that my mother used to be afraid of riding the elevator. Okay, she used to be afraid of riding the elevator, and because she was afraid of riding the elevator, she would wait for somebody to come in all the time. She came to see me. At the end of the day, I called her that morning. I said, Mami, yo estoy sola. Literally, I thought mentally I was going crazy. I'm trying to feed the baby. Just so many things that you're doing. Obviously, I had a C-section. And my mother said, wait a minute. My daughter needs me. Forget about this claustrophobia. Forget about me not being able to ride the elevator. I am going to get on this elevator by myself, and I'm going to go see my daughter. Pregunta, Mami. Did the anxiety, the claustrophobia of riding the elevators, did it leave?
Yes, se fue.
Did it leave?
Yes.
Did you ever feel it again?
No.
What happened? It was an act of not being selfish.
Unselfishness.
Unselfishness that took her to breaking that claustrophobia and that anxiety. Because I'm going to promise you something. You could be afraid of heights. But if on the other side of that height that you have to cross, your child is burning up, trust me, you ain't gonna look down. You're gonna go right across the highway. You're gonna do everything that you gotta do in order to go get your child.
Right.
So you
That's right.
Be in a state of unselfishness in order for you to overcome and be thankful. Wow, mami, eso me vino ahora.
Amen.
Eso me vino ahora. Okay, because I remember my mother telling me, Jina,
that's right.
I remember my mother saying, I'm healed. I'm healed from claustrophobia. I'm healed from anxiety. Okay, because although God healed her about the divorce, although God healed about all those things, it was still a process for her to complete her healing. It doesn't happen from one day to another. Here I am pregnant. She's probably divorced 15 years or a little bit more than that. And she was still struggling with the elevator with claustrophobia. And she said, my daughter needed me. She forgot about herself. And God was telling her, it's time for your healing. And she was healed.
Right.
And she started learning. Turn on the light.
She stepped out.
She started learning that she needed to focus on God in order for her to get to the next level of her healing. And she was already focusing on God. She was already focusing on God. She was already getting there. She was already working it. Okay? And wow, that was 8 years ago, 10 years ago, where God was still taking her to the next level
through the process. Right.
Okay? Mommy, talk to me a little bit. Share a little bit. Come on.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Eso es verdaderamente lo que tú dices. Tú sabes, como cuando tomamos el
translate for her, Janna.
Cuando cogemos ese propósito, damos este paso.
We have a purpose and we take a step.
Cuando empezamos a confiar en Dios.
When we start to confide in God.
Porque, Janna, tú hablas acerca que tenemos que rendirnos a Dios, ¿verdad?
Amen. We have to surrender to
Pero
God.
también en ese rendimiento tú tienes que confiar en Dios.
Yes, you have to confide in God and trust God. If you don't confide in God, you can't surrender.
Tú tienes que entender que el Todopoderoso, el Eterno Dios,
you have to understand that the all-powerful God,
es el que está en control, no tú.
He's in control, not you.
Y cuando Él permite que pase algo en tu vida,
and when He permits something to happen in your life,
es porque Él tiene un propósito para eso.
It's because He has a purpose.
Y aunque en el momento no lo entendemos,
and even if we don't understand it in the moment,
era propósito de Dios.
When time passes, we understand that it was
Mira, a
God's
veces nos
purpose.
aferramos a algo que nos hace daño.
Sometimes we attach ourselves to things that will harm us. And God
Y Dios
warns
quiere
us.
bendecirnos.
He wants to bless
Pero
us.
nosotros nos aferramos a eso, aunque
But
suframos.
we get stuck to that place.
Entonces tenemos que entender
We have to understand
que cuando la mano de Dios está sobre nuestras vidas,
that when the hand of God is over us,
no importa la situación que tú estés pasando,
doesn't matter the situation that you're in.
la palabra dice que en todas las cosas demos gracias a Dios.
The Bible says that in all things, give according to His will. Yes. He's in our favor. Yes.
Una de las cosas que mientras ustedes estaban diciendo, cuando nadie llamó, cuando pasábamos por la situación.
Yes, one of those things that you were going through, that when nobody called us when we were going through a situation, and
Yo he entendido,
I have understood
que para Dios tratar con tu vida,
that for God to work in your life,
te necesita a ti solo.
He needs you alone. Wow.
Yes.
Te
Yes.
necesita a ti solo.
He needs
Yes.
you alone.
Tú no
Yes.
necesitas compañía.
You don't need
Porque
company.
esto es entre tú y Dios.
Because this is between you and
Entre
God.
Dios y tú.
And between
Yes.
God and
Así
you.
que no te
Yes.
quejes más.
So stop complaining.
Si el Señor está permitiendo que tú estés solo en tu proceso,
If God is allowing you to be alone in your
es
process,
porque es un
Yes.
asunto privado entre tú y Dios.
Yes.
that is a private situation between you and
Y
God.
Dios
Mhm.
pronto, hay alguien que está pasando
Yes.
por una situación que pronto
Yes.
va a ver la mano de Dios obrando y va a ver la liberación que está esperando.
There's somebody
Yes.
here that's going through something
Feel
and you
God.
will see freedom very
Yo
shortly
siento a
in your
Dios en
life.
esta hora.
And I see God in your life. I
Porque
feel God
Dios tiene propósito.
because God has purpose.
¿Entiendes? Yo en este
Wow.
tiempo yo estoy predicando acerca de qué es lo que tú hablas, porque la muerte y la vida está en el poder de la lengua.
In
Yes.
this time that we're talking about, I'm talking about the power of life and death in your tongue.
Y muchas veces en nuestra situación, en tu situación,
And many times in your situation,
tú lo que estás orando es negativismo y te estás maldiciendo a ti misma por lo que tú estás hablando.
and there's sometimes that you even praying negativity and you're cursing yourself by what you say.
Y Dios lo que quiere es que tú hables la palabra y que confíes en medio de tu situación y que te
Pray the
rindas
word.
y que entiendas
Yes.
que Él está teniendo el control de todo lo que está pasando.
Yes.
Porque de eso malo, de esa semilla mala que el enemigo ha puesto en ti, eso es lo que
Yes.
dices tú, Dios va a hacer un crecimiento y una bendición grande,
Yes.
un testimonio grande para la gloria de Dios.
Yes. For that bad seed that you have gone through, for that situation that you have gone through, God is going to grow something huge in you. He is going to make you the person that He wants you to be. And at the end of
Amen.
the day, a better version of yourself.
Yes.
Y te lo digo como testimonio.
And I tell you as a testimony,
Yo pudiera estar toda mi vida destruida.
I could have been all my
Amen.
life
Yo
destroyed.
pudiera estar todo el día quejándome.
All my life I could be complaining.
In a pity
Pero
party.
yo decidí
Yes,
entregar mi vida al Señor.
But I decided to surrender my life to God.
Y no
Yes.
ser una persona derrotada, sino una persona victoriosa en medio de mi situación.
And not be a person that's destroyed, but be a person that's a victorious. Not a victim, but a victor.
Exacto, cuando tú ves que el testimonio tuyo es la plataforma que Dios va a usar
When you see that your testimony is the platform that God is going to use
para bendecir a aquellos que han sido atribulados, lo que tú has sido atribulada.
to bless those that have been in your turmoil where you have also been,
Tú ves que la mano de Dios, que tú vas a ver la mano
Yes,
de Dios
yes.
obrando, porque a través de tu testimonio tú vas a traer liberación,
yes.
vas a traer restauración para la gloria y la
Amen.
honra del
Amen.
Señor.
Through
Amen.
the testimony, you're going to bring freedom, you're going to bring restoration, you're going to
Yes.
bring forgiveness for the glory and honor
Si tú
of
no
God.
sufres por la causa de Dios, tú no vas a ver la gloria de Dios.
If you don't suffer because of the cause of God, you're not going to see the glory.
Porque el sufrimiento que tú tienes ahora es comparable con la gloria que
Oh,
Dios
come on
tiene
now.
para tu
Yes.
vida en
Yes.
este tiempo, en este tiempo.
Because the suffering that you're going through today is not compared to the glory that God is going to put
Yes.
you in now.
Yes.
Exacto, así que es
Amen.
necesario que tú pases por esto.
It is necessary that you go through it.
Era necesario que yo pasara por esto.
It is necessary that I go through it.
Era necesario
Yes.
que tú pasaras por lo que pasaste.
It is necessary, Janna, for you to go through what you went through.
Gina, era necesario que tú pasaras por
It is
esto.
necessary for I to go through what I went
Para
through.
ti que te he dicho, es necesario que tú estés pasando por lo que
Yes.
tú estés pasando.
Yes.
Así que dale gracias a
Yes.
Dios
Yes.
en todo,
Yes.
aunque en este momento tú no lo entiendas,
Yes.
pero que tú veas la mano de Dios obrando
Yes.
y tú vas a ver como el poder de Dios te va a llevar al lugar que ya Dios tiene preparado para tu vida.
Wow. Be thankful for whatever situation you're going through, because God will take you and elevate you to the place that you
Yes.
need to be in if you are just thankful. Wow.
Exacto.
And my mother didn't have
Amen.
nothing to say.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to see. It is amazing to be able to see the glory of God in our lives. Not just
Yes.
with one woman, not just with two, but with three. We have three women here. And let me tell you something. It's not just us, it's our families. And you're looking at women here, you know, our husbands are shy. Although my husband he did awesome last week. You better give a thumbs up for that.
Yes, he did.
But it's just amazing for us to see that we are in a point of our lives that we could give. We are in a point of our life that we've been through the trial. We've been through the tribulation. I know what it is to be a church girl. I know what it is to be, you know, not too much of a church girl. And that's okay too, you know, because God is a forgiving God. And sometimes we don't listen to what God is telling us to do. And
Yes.
we want to do it
Blessed old joy.
And sometimes
Yes.
we put ourselves in the situation ourselves. But you know
Yes.
what? Thank God for his mercy. Thank God that God is so merciful that even if it's your fault for where you're at today, and maybe it's not your fault for where you're at today, I want to tell you that your struggle, when you are overcome that struggle, the glory of God and the way God is going to use you is going to be in a dimension where you're not even going to realize, wow, I can't even understand why I'm here because I'm not worthy. I am not worthy to be where I'm at. I want to tell you, even these lives, it has been a struggle, not a struggle, but you know, it's been like risky being online and writing the book and doing
nothing comes easy.
But
nothing comes easy.
That's
right.
You know, all these things, like, you know, you struggle with all these things, but you know what? At the end of the day, when you realize that God is in control of your life, and all you want to do is be in obedience, and you realize that people are going to come against you, and even if you go to a different glory, even if you go to a different dimension, you're still going to go through the struggle. You're still going to go through situations because God wants to continue elevating you. If you are in this life today, you will continue going from glory to glory, from victory to victory. But before the victory is going to be the struggle. Before the victory is going to be the turmoil. And that's what's going to elevate you to where you need to be.
Amen.
And today I wanted to share that with you because things that maybe we went through before were probably like, wow, I don't understand why I went through it. Today we are thankful. And I just want to tell you, the Bible talks about being thankful in everything, right? You being thankful. Being thankful for everything. Being thankful in everything. Because not all the time you're going to understand why. And not all the time you're going to understand, is this, you know, what am I supposed to do? God, guide me. Show me. But let me tell you something. Amen. God will take you to where you need to be if you are in obedience. Right? We've been talking about this all along. Obedience means listening to God. Disobedience means not listening to God. Being cursed means being in disobedience to God. Being blessed means is being in obedience to God. So Janna, my mother, I am extremely blessed today.
Yes.
Because I am here. I'm extremely blessed because I still have my mom. I'm not gonna lie to you. Last week after the live, my mother called me literally 5 minutes later. Jina, me tienes que llevar. You gotta take me to the ER. I was literally with the fork in my mouth. I put my fork down. I went straight to the ER. I stayed in front of the ER for 2 hours trying to sneak in. I'm sorry. I'm being transparent. I was like, I'm gonna put on an EMT dress. I'm in uniform. I saw the janitor. I even made a little video about it. It wasn't a joke. It was a joke, but it wasn't. I really thought about it, right? It was the projects wanting to come in me. Maybe I could go into the basement. I know how where they deliver, you know. But at the end of the day, I just felt the peace of God. I felt God all over what was going on. I knew that it wasn't my mother's time. Yeah, she's still going through a process. You know, you see her getting crazy because it's the anointing of God. Okay, but we still taking care of her. I'm still running errands for her. I'm still doing what I have to do. And that's part of life. But in the midst of that, I'm still going to do what God has called us to do.
Amen.
Okay, which is to share his mercy. All right, I have my family here because I wanted to ask them really quickly what they were thankful for. And I just want to thank God. I want to thank God for them. I want to thank God for my mom. You know, it wasn't always like, oh my God, look at that family. It's so awesome. Everybody goes through struggles. Everybody goes through things, but it's up to you to want to work it out. It's up to you to say, you know what? We need counseling. You know what? We can't work it out. Let have somebody help us. Like my husband was talking about last week. We need mentorship. We need this. We need that. And God started putting things together where he needed to put it. And it's just amazing because next week, I'm going to be talking about something really big that some churches talk about it too much. Some churches talk about it too little bit. And I'm going to talk about finances. But not just finances. I'm going to talk about wealth. Okay? Because wealth is 100. Are you wealthy? Why? What do you have to do to get to that level? And it's going to be a 4-week series going into January where I'm going to be talking about entrepreneurship and business and all this stuff because I realized that I'm very different from a lot of people that I grew up in church. You know, a lot of people in church, unfortunately, don't have degrees. They didn't know about entrepreneurship. They didn't know about all these things. I have been in a level where God has taken me where I've been like, wow, I need to share what I did. I need to share what I've learned. I need to share, you know, how to get to those places. Amen. And yes, you know, the love of money is evil. Yes. Yes, the root, if you love it, the money is not bad, right? But we're gonna talk about that, and it's a sticky story. I mean, it's sticky. I might lose some people, okay? Because I'm gonna be real with the experiences that I've had, okay? I see people writing here, I wanna buy the book. You can go on Amazon.com. If you're on Facebook, just scroll up when this is done. I have all my links there. My YouTube, my Twitter, my Instagram, you know, Janna Cotto, at Prevail, the book is my Instagram, my YouTube, Janna Arce-Cotto. If you want to catch up with all the lives, they're all there. I have motivational videos. I have so many things. What was the process of me writing the book? I have some interviews with my mom. I have photo shoots. I mean, so many things that God just opened the doors that I was just like, Amen. Are you kidding me? God just started opening and connecting me with people. And Amazon.com, Prevail, the process of overcoming, or if you could put Jina Arce-Cotto, even if you put Illuminada Roman, because she forwarded my book, it will come up. You could do it you could get it in Spanish, in English, in Audibles. I did the English Audible, which is amazing. Okay, not because I did it, but it took me so long to do it. I have to give myself accolades because it was something I did for the first time. And it's also in Spanish in Audibles. Now, I also have the workbook out. All right, I was working on putting it in a PDF. I know a few people have asked, and you are going to get it. If you want me to give you the action plan and workbook, you are welcome to have it for free. This is my Christmas gift to you. It is free. If you already bought the book, I will send you the workbook and the action plan and workbook. I mean, it is amazing. All of these things are for the glory and honor of God. Okay, just let me know, hey, I got your book. You're not going to understand the workbook a little bit if you haven't read the book, because the workbook is aligned with the book, okay? So I just want my family to come over here really quickly, just to say hello, what you're thankful for, and yeah, we're going to end. God bless you guys. Start walking. We started a little late, so yeah. So you could... Okay, I have my daughter
Run.
college. Oh my God!
Hi,
You know how hard it is to get a teenager to come on live? I mean, just crazy.
She's not a teenager no more.
Just stand behind us. Stand behind us so you can see it, because there's a small screen. But really quickly, Destiny, tell me one thing you're thankful for.
Really quickly, one thing I'm really thankful for are these lives. Actually, I listen to them. I'm really thankful for like what you guys say. You know, like. Three really strong women here, you know, talking, and it's like it's good, and a lot of friends listen, and they're very thankful. So
Destiny is in her second year of Christian college in Pennsylvania. Very proud of her. Jaylin, what are you thankful for? You have to come this way so that everybody can see you. What are you thankful for?
I'm
thankful
for that my mom made a book.
Oh, okay. And what else?
Okay.
That's it. That's what she's thankful for. Babe, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful just that, you know, we can spend time together with the family for Thanksgiving. You know, I think that's a blessing through the crisis that we're all facing today in this country, in this world. But that's not going to stop us from getting together and being unified as a family. That makes us stronger in Christ.
Yes, man.
And it's just awesome that, you know, what's being taken place here on live once every week on Instagram and Facebook, what my wife is putting together. I'm just so proud of her for staying consistent, for getting out of her comfort zone to prepare material every week so that she can impact and help other people out there that are going through certain situations, whether it's COVID, whether it's family, whether it's finances, whether it's just trying to get closer with God. She's putting herself out there, and that's not easy. So I commend her, and I'm just so proud of her for stepping out and doing the Lord's work in total faith.
Amen.
And knowing that she's not doing it for anything else. She's not doing it for money. She's not doing it for recognition. She's doing it because she has a heart for God, and she wants to help other people. So I want you to understand, whatever you're facing, I hope that you really take initiative of what she's putting in play here, because she's pouring her heart out to you, and it's really impactful. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you, Janna. Thank you, Pastor, for jumping on and being a huge support for what she's doing week after week. And we know the best is yet to come. So proud of you, and happy Thanksgiving to all you. God bless you all. Love you guys.
Your sister say hi. Hi, Penny. Hey, this is crazy. I just want to thank you guys. Janna, you want to share one little thing what you're thankful for? And mommy, I got to kind of end a little bit on Instagram.
Yeah.
We're almost, I think, over an hour, but thank you guys so much. DM me, IG me. Janna, start talking, and I'm gonna
I'm excited for what God is doing. I'm excited for what He's doing in my family. I thank my sister for, stepping out, just like Jay said. And, the family, God is bringing it together through this book. I believe that God has really, given a vision to my sister. And I thank God for that, and, I thank God that she gives me the opportunity to come in every now and then with her and be able to share with you guys. And I just thank God for everything He's given me, my salvation. Thank God for my family, for my mom. Thank God she's good. I wish I was there. But God is amazing. And without Him, I don't know where I would be. So I thank God for my life. I thank God for everything.
Okay, I'm going to end on Instagram now. And you could, mommy, tell me what you're grateful for.
Gracias por mi salvación, gracias por mi salud, gracias por la familia tan linda que me ha dado, por la iglesia que me ha dado para pastorear, por agradecida por todos los que toman el tiempo para escuchar estos live, porque yo sé que el Espíritu Santo está ministrando nuestras vidas. Alabado sea el Señor, y sabemos, ¿verdad?, que Dios ha de seguir moviéndose, y esto es para la gloria y la honra del Señor, para que la iglesia, ¿sabe? El mundo está dividido, pero la iglesia está unida. Y nosotros tenemos el poder y la autoridad para seguir hacia adelante. Estamos compartiendo, ¿verdad?, bendiciones y compartiendo testimonios para que tú sepas que tú no estás solo. Que lo que tú estás pasando ahora ya posiblemente nosotros lo pasamos, posiblemente está pasando diferente, pero damos gloria a Dios porque en todo momento Dios está con nosotros y tenemos la victoria en el nombre poderoso de Jesús.
Amen.
So God bless you guys. Say a little something. I'm going to really end now. Go ahead, Janna.